Welcome to Unforeseen Fates, where every story prepares you for the unknown. It's easy to think of evil as something distant, something that happens in places far away from where we live, work, and raise our families. But sometimes, horror lives in plain sight, wearing the mask of normalcy. In Drums, Pennsylvania, on a quiet residential street where children's bicycles rest on porches and neighbors wave in passing, one home has become the center of a story so disturbing, it's hard to put into words. Inside that home, a 13-year-old boy, already displaced from his biological family, was allegedly tortured and killed, not by a stranger in the night, not by a random act of violence, but, prosecutors say, by the very foster parents who were entrusted to give him safety, stability, and love. What happened inside those walls is pieced together from court documents, witness accounts, and official statements. Because while home surveillance cameras allegedly recorded every moment, the public will likely never see the surveillance. From the outside, the Delgadillo home didn't look like a crime scene. 2 stories, light-colored siding, curtains always drawn. The front yard was modest, neat but unremarkable. A mailbox with a number, a small set of stairs up to the porch. Cesar and Virginia Delgadillo lived here with 5 foster children ranging from elementary age to mid-teens. For the neighbors, the children were rarely seen. No noisy backyard games, no laughing in the driveway. Just quiet, almost too quiet. No one could have guessed that behind those closed curtains, according to prosecutors, the children were living in an environment of fear. It began on Sunday night, August 10th, 2025, late enough that most of the street was asleep. According to court records, a confrontation started after 2 younger foster children accused the 13-year-old of inappropriate behavior. What happened next, prosecutors allege, was a sudden eruption of violence. Cesar allegedly struck the boy repeatedly, using his fists, an electrical cord, and eventually a household back-scratcher. Not the kind of playful swat you might imagine, but allegedly as a weapon, forcing it into the boy's mouth and throat. Virginia, the foster mother, was reportedly present at the start. Court documents say she watched, did nothing to stop it, and eventually went to bed, leaving the boy alone with his alleged attacker. The cameras inside the home continued recording as the night wore on. The alleged assault did not stop. The next part of the footage, according to police, is just as disturbing. Other children in the home, themselves foster kids, were allegedly told to clean up the aftermath. They were seen wiping floors, changing the boy's clothing, and using bleach to scrub surfaces. Police later said the smell of bleach inside the home was overpowering, clinging to the walls and floors. Imagine being a child, already living away from your parents, and finding yourself ordered to erase the evidence of another child's suffering. That night, innocence was stolen from more than one person in that home. By morning, the boy was unresponsive. Virginia called 911. Paramedics rushed to the home and transported him to Lehigh Valley Hospital. But the injuries were too severe. The 13-year-old was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The Luzerne County District Attorney's Office wasted no time. That same day, Cesar and Virginia Delgadillo were taken into custody. Cesar now faces charges of homicide, child endangerment, tampering with evidence, and obstruction. Virginia faces multiple counts of child endangerment, corruption of minors, and tampering with evidence. The remaining children were removed immediately and placed into protective custody. Some, investigators say, showed signs of past physical abuse. This tragedy raises difficult questions about the foster care system. How could a home with multiple children pass inspections if abuse was happening inside? Were there warning signs missed by social workers or case managers? The children had been in the home for months. If the allegations are true, this wasn't a single night of violence. It was the final act in a longer pattern of fear and control. The foster care system exists to shield children from unsafe environments. But here, it may have placed them directly in harm's way. For the neighbors, the arrest came as a shock. Some had never spoken to the family. Others had only exchanged polite nods. None imagined that a child was allegedly being brutalized just feet away from their own homes. Small towns like Drums are built on the idea that everyone knows everyone. But the truth is, some stories remain hidden behind walls, no matter how close the houses stand. Before this story fades from the headlines, let it leave a mark where it matters most. In our homes, every child is placed in our care with an unspoken trust that we will guide them, protect them, and shape them into the best version of themselves. Parents, guardians, foster carers, you are expected to be the safest hands a child will ever know. Never make your home a hell for your children. They will not stay with you forever. But whatever you do to them will stay with them for a lifetime. There is a thin line between discipline and abuse. Discipline teaches. Abuse destroys. Discipline builds character. Abuse shatters spirits. One corrects behavior. The other breaks a child's sense of safety, sometimes forever. When we cross that line, in anger, in frustration, or out of our own unresolved pain, we don't just fail as parents or guardians. We fail as human beings. It is heartbreaking to even speak these words. So to anyone involved in abusing children, turn away now. Not when you're caught, not when it's too late. Desist now. Do your best now. Raising a child is not about control. It's about stewardship. It's about giving them roots to stand firm and wings to one day fly on their own. Let this tragedy remind us that love without safety is not love at all, and that the home, more than any courtroom, school, or government program, is the first and most powerful place where justice, compassion, and dignity must live. Because some wounds never heal, and some fates should never be written. If this story moved you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to Unforeseen Fates for more untold truths. So together, we can expose the darkness and protect the vulnerable. Share this video, because the more people who hear, the more children we can help keep safe. And in the comments, tell us, what signs should every neighbor, every teacher, every friend look out for? Your voice might be the one that saves a life.